Folks, here on a Zoom call with the Clarion High School Volleyball team, the 2020 PIAA Class 1A Championship team. Before we get into talking about this season, I'm going to have them each introduce themselves. We'll start with Jordan Best.
Hi, I'm Jordan Best. I was the libero. Yay.
Adia Needham.
Hi, I'm Aiden Needham. I'm a middle hitter, and this season's been pretty good.
Erica Selfridge.
Hi, I'm Erica Selfridge, and I was an outside. Yay.
Brenna Campbell and Ava Kaiser together today.
Okay. I'm Brenna Campbell. I'm the setter.
I'm Ava Kaiser. I am a DS.
Peyton Simcoe.
Hi, I'm Peyton Simcoe, and I'm the other middle hitter.
Corinne Burns.
Hi, I'm Corinne Burns, and I was an outside.
And Ariana Gervin.
Hi, I'm Ariana Gervin, and I was the right side hitter.
First of all, ladies, again, and I know I told you guys all this on Saturday, but congratulations on what's been a fantastic season. Has it really sunk in yet, what you guys accomplished? Anybody can answer.
No, this is like totally surreal for us. Like, this is, I know I'm like speaking for Brenna and I, but like this has been something that we've been working for like so many years now. So like, it's so crazy to just like try to believe that this actually happened.
Yeah.
Last year, things ended really disappointing. We did one of these last year, and I know it was really difficult because you lost the semifinal game that you thought you were going to win. How much motivation did last year create for those of you who were coming back from a year ago? Corinne, maybe you could talk about that a little bit.
So I think the loss really drove us, and it got us excited, and we had like a huge motivator to like, okay, let's get farther than we did before. So I think we really like used that in the gym and in the weight room. So I think that really helped us this year.
Ariana, when did you kind of start realizing that you could win a state title?
I think the moment we found out that we were going to the quarterfinals, we started to get more confident and we started working even harder in practice.
Peyton, in a year where there were so many challenges, where you didn't know whether or not you were going to play, whether or not you were going to have fans, whether or not the season was going to continue, how difficult was that this year for you guys?
I mean, it was definitely something we thought about, and I think we just stayed motivated. We thought it can't get any worse than not having fans or anything, so we pushed ourselves so we could have a season, and so we could maybe eventually have fans.
Jordy, you were asked to play a new position this year. You didn't maybe get the kind of preseason summer work that maybe you would have hoped to have going into something like that. Talk about mentally and physically preparing yourself for a season that was really like none other that you've ever played in.
Well, first of all, I'm really glad that I was a libero because I was really glad when Erica came because she definitely filled that position of the outside much better. But I was really excited, and the end of last year's season, I was the libero for a little bit, so that got me ready for it. And I was just excited and ready to step up to the plate and play that new position.
Adia, you were somebody that, maybe those of us on the outside didn't know who you were or what you could contribute this year, kind of being, obviously we didn't know about Erica either, obviously, but from the ones that were coming back, just talk about stepping in and filling a role that you filled, especially in the middle, and getting better as the year went on.
I was definitely very, very excited because I don't know, it was just something new to me, and definitely with being on the team, with Peyton, and I don't know, it was just so much fun, and I'm very glad that I got to have that experience definitely as a sophomore. So it was very fun.
Erica, you came in new, and everything going on. It couldn't have been easy for you to have to move schools, your senior year of high school. You know, you're coming off of a volleyball program where you had won a couple of state titles in New York State. You know, just moving completely to a new town, to a new city, to a new state in the middle of COVID. I can't even begin to imagine being a senior and having to do that. Just talk about how these girls took you in and made you part of their family.
They definitely made the move a whole lot easier for me. And like if we weren't at school or like playing, we were always like, we watched film and like we're in the weight room and we just did so much together, and that really helped me transition to come here.
You guys had to make a lot of sacrifices. Sacrifice maybe hanging out with some of your other friends, sacrifice doing some of the other things you did. At the end of the day, sacrifice doing in-person school to make sure that this happened. Talk a little bit about the commitment level you all had to this team to make those kind of sacrifices.
Yeah. I can say something about that. But so I think that I'm sorry, my dog is I'm sorry, my dog. Okay, so I think that this special bond. I'm sorry, not use your dog.
Dog? Okay,
Buddy, you got
I'll
it.
talk. Okay, I got it. I think, especially with this program, it's always you come in knowing that if you're gonna play and if you're gonna be on the varsity team, that there is a certain level of commitment that you have to the program and to each other. But this year, it was like so much more important, and like this team really showed that like this is the ultimate goal, and everyone who was on this varsity team sacrificed school, sacrificing their other friends and like family. Oh God. And like for me for me being a senior, that was really like important. I'm sorry.
She's meaning like it's really important that like everybody on the team is willing to work for this one goal just to get us like where we are, and I think that's really cool too. You're welcome.
Anybody else have thoughts on the sacrifices you guys had to make?
Yeah, okay, so I think I'm good.
We'll get you in a second, Jordy. Go ahead, Corinne, go ahead.
So I think that I was thinking about it after like we won, and we were always together. We had nowhere else to go. So I think like the amount of time we spent together has created this unbelievable bond. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I didn't like think about how really and truly close we were. And now I'm just reflecting on the season, and I was like, wow, we truly were awesome together. Like it was just the best bond.
Jordy, I know you had a thought.
I just wanted to say that it was like all the sacrifices that we made were totally worth it to be able to get that state title, and I would have done like it all over again because that was literally the greatest feeling ever. Like I would not trade any of those sacrifices to have that feeling again.
What did it feel like what's going through everybody's mind when it gets to like, 22, 23 points? I mean, I think we all realize that teams aren't probably coming back from a 23-15 deficit. When did it start sinking into you guys that you were about to be the state champions, and how hard was it to concentrate over those last couple of points? Peyton.
I think Brenna realized it pretty early. She was crying when we had like the third set. We were at like 21 points, and I looked at Brenna and she was already crying, and everyone had to tell her just to like hold it together. We're almost there.
Peyton, was it something that that started to occur to you before those final points happened?
Yeah, like all throughout that day, I was just thinking, oh my gosh, guys, we're here, like we made it. And then in those very last points, I turned around and I saw Brenna crying. I was like, Brenna, you got this, like we got this. And that's when I was like this is it, like we are about to win. And it was just so awesome.
Talk about that last point. I thought the last point, I've said this to a number of people having watched the video. I won't say that I saw it while I was calling it. Sometimes things are happening so fast you don't see it. I went back and I watched that last point, and I thought it really epitomized the level of volleyball you guys play. You ran Peyton through as kind of a decoy, and then you set it to Corinne coming from behind. The thing that I've said to a lot of people, I spent a lot of years around the college game at Clarion University, and those are things that you see at the college level. Those are things you see at the Olympic level. Those are not things you see every day at the high school level. Talk about the amount of practice, the amount of trust that has to go in to running a play like that, and especially a play like that on state championship point.
So like for me, like I know I trust my hitters a lot, and it's something we work on all the time in practice. You're not going to be able to like hit a 4 and a 5 and a 1 every single time. Like pretty soon, if it's a good team, they're going to realize that. And I think that's something that's really cool about our offense this year, is that everybody was willing to do whatever like I told them to do. And so like if it meant like someone coming in for like, if like Corinne coming in for a middle ball and like Peyton going for a slide, or Ariana going for a 6, or Erica for a 3, like they were all cool with it. And that's what makes our offense so like lethal, probably.
Corinne, what's going through your mind, or is anything going through your mind as you're setting up for that final point? Or is it just reacting to what's going on in the middle of the game? Corinne, you're on mute right now. There you go. Nope, you're still on mute. There you go.
Okay. So I knew that I really wanted this last play to be special, so we could have something like, so it was just so awesome when I saw that like they were just free balling it over, and I was just getting really excited because I knew that Peyton would fake out the middle. She does a great job with that, and she really did pull that middle. If you watch the last point, you see the middle is confused. So that last play, I owe it to Brenna and Peyton, because that block would have been on me if Peyton had not swung. So I just thought it was a special play, and it was a great way to end the game and be state champs.
Ariana, when that point goes down, what's going through your mind at that point?
Well, Ava had come in for me at that point. And as soon as I heard Corinne yell tandem, I was like, oh my God, this is it. It's over. So I guess it was really special, and it was fun that I was able to be with everyone else and see all the seniors on the court at the same time.
Ava, being a senior, but being a senior that was more of a role player on this team, what did it mean to you that Coach had you on the court for that championship point?
Well, I mean, it felt so good, and it was like something really special for me also, because like I don't know, like I'm like with everybody in like practice, and like I like defend against like things like that all the time. So like working with them like in practice, and then actually like being able to like take it into a game, and like it being like the state championship, like also like, because it's been like a huge goal of Brenna and I's for like so long now, like being in with her like in game point was so special to me. And like being able to like wipe her tears like after we won, like it was like the best feeling ever, like just being with everybody.
I think on that last point, everybody touched the ball. I don't know. I think one of your dads pointed that out, and then I went back and I looked at it, and by goodness, everybody did touch the ball. Jordy, it's coming back over the net to you. Are you thinking at all, hey, I don't want to screw this up, or is it just, again, like I asked Corinne, is it just, hey, I'm going to just play this game?
Yeah, it was mostly I'm just going to play it. I saw the free ball, so yeah, there was a little bit of pressure that I had to make the perfect pass. But I got the free ball, and then I heard tandem go up, and like, man, I was like, yep, this is it. And then Corinne killed it, and I just fell to the floor and grabbed whoever I could because I was so excited.
Erica, you were serving. Is there any extra pressure serving at championship point?
I mean, I always try to get it over, but I wasn't really pressured because the point deficit was so much. Like she told me to top spin, and that's like always like 50-50 for me. Like it's been better, but it's like not perfect. So I was really happy I got it over, but really
I know I talked to some of you guys about this on Saturday. You could almost see that you guys were really nervous in the beginning. Obviously, anybody's going to be nervous in a championship game, but the fact that you guys really felt like you were probably the prohibited favorites, did that make it a little bit more nerve-wracking, Peyton?
I feel like, yes, it did make it a bit more nerve-wracking because there was that extra little pressure on us. But I think once we got over it, we handled it very well. And we always find a way to come back because we know how to work as a team. And I think that's really important. And so we were able to just come back and just take the nerves away and just play like we always do.
As you guys think about the season and maybe some of the things that maybe we don't see up front, like what are some of the things that you guys have that'll always stick with you that maybe those of us from the outside that we're covering or watching might not know about?
Definitely like the bond we have, I would say, because like in the past, like our team hasn't been like that much of a bond as like what we have. And I think like that, like it's hard to explain because all we've been through, I think that's like what really pulled us together with like COVID and it being so like what's next. Do you know what I mean? So I think that like really pulled us together and that's what definitely makes our team like so much better, you know?
As you guys think about it, and I know this is hard to imagine, but like if you're sitting around the Thanksgiving table 25 years from now and you're there with your significant others, your kids and stuff like that, what kind of stories will you tell them about this season?
So I think a special story is so we carried around this little glass jar and we called it Piter. So we found a spider on the ground. Now this might seem like the weirdest story, but it was just like a little special little thing we did. So we found this spider, we killed it, and we put it in this little glass jar and we called it Piter. And we brought it everywhere we went. That's just one story that I will tell my kids.
That's the exact kind of thing I was looking for, Corinne. Thank you. The 69-1 in sets. I know Corinne said, yeah, she expected it because you guys put a lot of pressure on yourselves. But is it hard to imagine how close to perfection you guys were?
Yeah. Okay. I don't think it's hard to imagine because this team was just like worked so hard from like the beginning, from when we could be together doing like lifts, not even in a gym, and like paying to go to like some random gym and set up a horrible net. Like we've worked so hard, and the fact that that's our like record in sets isn't surprising at all because this team is like, you watch us play and it's like, that's amazing. Like everyone on this team has brought something that has made that possible. Like either if it's like a new position or like even if it's someone who doesn't play all 6 rotations, like that's what makes this team so amazing. So like the fact that it's a perfect or almost a perfect record doesn't surprise me at all because how much we put into it and like the hard work we do.
I think back to the match against Red Bank Valley where nobody's allowed in the gym. I set up in the hallway to broadcast. I was kind of in your guys' way as you're coming into the gym, all of that stuff. And yet you went out there and you took on a team that ended up not only being a district champion, but a state quarterfinalist. And if memory serves, it was 25-7, 26-24, 25-5. And after that match, Matt Dar, the Red Bank coach, came up to me and said, hey, this is the best Clarion team I've ever seen. And I think that was probably the moment where I realized that maybe this was a team that could do something special. The way you played in that first match, having not had your typical preseason and all of that against a team as good as Red Bank Valley, did that kind of give you guys this idea that, hey, this could be that kind of season for us?
So yeah, definitely like being able to like play in an actual like game environment for us for the first time was like really exciting. But yeah, I'd say like it's when we all put it together when we realized that, wow, this is really great, despite how close the scores were too. like a KSAC team. But of course, we were all excited to see like how it all came together, all of our hard work, like how it came to life, I guess.
Erica, one of the things that you've said to me is just how technically sound this team was from the second you walked into the gym. And again, you'd played at a high level. Your sister's obviously a college volleyball player. Talk about how much easier that made playing with this team, that they were so technically sound.
Yeah, I like before I kind of had to, my team like relied on me, like only me. And so with this team, there wasn't as much pressure, and I knew like if I was passing, Corinne was going to get a kill, and it was just so much easier to like adjust to that.
Ladies, is there, we're running out of time here on our Zoom call, but is there anything else that anybody wants to add to what we've talked about? And I do want to say from my end, thanks for giving me a ride. It was a special moment in my career to be able to call a state championship. And it's something that I'll never forget, and that I'm very thankful to all of you for.
So I definitely think there's like two major factors in like how we are so successful. So one of them is definitely the bond that we have between our teammates. Like we are the weirdest, most insane people that are like so incredibly comfortable with each other. Like you wouldn't even believe it. And that like, I feel like that put a lot into how we play so well. And another reason is our amazing coach, of course. Like without Coach Campbell, like who knows what we would be. Like she's an amazing person, and she is an amazing coach, and like not only did she shape us to win this state championship, but like she has had such a great impact like in our lives that will literally last forever. So like I think, like speaking for the team, like we can't thank her enough for like everything that she's done for us.
Well, ladies, thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And good luck in all your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Thank you.